What up, everybody? This is Genesis, aka Max MB, aka I slap your mom if she put her face in the way. I'm here with Ralph the Barber, also known as RT. Ralph, man, what's going on over there? Is that a cigar?
Oh, excuse me, man. I didn't know we was on. We was ready to go, man.
Oh man, we live. We recording.
I was doing my victory dance, man. You know how it go.
Oh, okay. What you got over there? What's in the bottle?
Man, that's just mineral water for now, but you know, later I got something for y'all to taste on.
So I'm assuming you happy about the the dub.
My cigar is bliss. We ready to talk about this damn thing.
So let's go ahead and talk about it then. Final, hot off the presses. Full disclosure here. It is Sunday night. People got stuff to do tomorrow. It's Monday. We decided to go ahead and knock this out. So when you're watching this, it probably will be Monday, but this is hot off the press. Final. The Cowboys beat the Chargers 20-17 in Los Angeles. What's your thoughts, man?
Man, screw that. Bump that. We got a win in the win category. I'll take it all day long. Would care how it come. We got a hero. Last week probably was a villain.
Yeah.
But you know, hey, we riding high now, baby.
Well, so let's not to toot our own horns, but you know, toot MFs. You know what I'm saying? I believe we both chose the Cowboys to win this game last week. So right now we 1 for 1.
Yeah, we look like experts right now, man.
Yeah, we are. I mean, come on, we are experts. So let's break down the game a little bit. Like you said, there was a villain last week, or perceived villain anyway. And I got this headline as another clutch moment, which means he would have already had a clutch moment, which he did last week. So stay off Greg the leg, man. Zuerlein's 56-yard field goal seals the game. He did it again.
As I mentioned last week, I don't think Zuerlein was fully healthy, but you know, in the NFL, a full week of rehab can make a long recovery for any athlete playing the game. And I think it showed in this game. You know, last week I took it and I put it on the coaches, but this week I'm gonna take the hat off and I'm gonna give him credit for it.
So I'm not necessarily saying he was injured last week, but he didn't have any real game action, did he?
Not actually injured. But, you know, as a kicker, your confidence has to be there. You know, preseason can take you a long way. And if you got a little work in the preseason, you know, you may have been feeling a little different coming into the game. I don't think he was settled coming into the game.
And then he was putting a lot of big pressure moments last week.
Exactly. He made a clutch long distance field goal to put us up with 1:29 seconds last week. So, you know, this week he had a whole nother feeling coming into the game. That's big for a kicker.
Well, and that's not, first off, you kicking for the Dallas Cowboys. That's a lot different than kicking for the Rams. I don't care how deep you got into the playoffs.
Yeah, you got a lot on your shoulders kicking for the boys.
Then you come in playing Super Bowl champions. The first game of the season. So whatever. You can call it excuses, whatever you want to call it. This game, 2 for 2 on field goals. Again, with a 56-yard field goal to seal the game. And he was 2 for 2 on the extra points. We know he had a little issue with the extra points last week. So lay off Greg the leg, man.
No, Greg the leg is fine with me right now, baby.
I want to here's my deal. If you want to dog him last week, give him all the blame and all that shit y'all was doing last week, I want to hear the rah-rah.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want to hear that this week then. Like, be consistent. I don't want to hear no crickets out there when it comes to Greg the leg, because he did it again.
Yeah, he get paid to do a job and he did his job.
Yeah. We got some other stuff. This is the topic I was ready to get to. Usually we do our dumbass of the week at the end of the show. Something hopefully unrelated to the actual game. This time, the dumbasses of the week go out to all the Cowboy Twitter fans. I'm getting tired of hearing about this. Zeke versus Pollard. Every time we see Pollard go in and get a little burst, a little 15-yard run, a little screen pass, for 20. This dude was actually, Tony Pollard was actually trending on Twitter. And so I clicked on it and said, hey, what's going on here? Oh, they need to put him in more. He's more explosive than Zeke. Blah, blah, blah. He looks better than Zeke. He's always looked better. He needs to get the ball more. Blah, blah, blah.
Let me explain something to you guys. we fell in love with a situation like this years ago. We had a guy that felt like he didn't make enough money in the NFL, so he would go in the stores and he steal the underwear,
steal draws, cologne,
you know, shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, we fell in love with that, and then next year we took the reins off and let him have it. And you see what happened to us. Y'all don't fall in love with this. You got to understand the full dynamics of football. The blocking is different. A lot of offensive linemen get used to blocking for one type of back, and when another back comes into the game, the sequence is totally different. I think when Pollard comes into the game, he comes in with a burst of energy, which I want to have that. I would love for my backup running back to average 8 point such and such a game, yards a game.
Right.
I would love that because guess what? That is offsetting that defense. When he comes to the game, they are not expecting what he is bringing to the table. He's getting paid to do that. Let him do it. But Zeke is our bell cow. We're going to ride him. He's the guy that we've got to go through. So any of you dumbass Twitter fans that feel like, okay, Pollard wasn't a starting running back in Memphis for a reason. People get paid to bring these guys into the league for a reason. And the reason he's not a starter, I don't know at Memphis, but he won't be a starter in Dallas.
No.
And
so here's the deal. I just look at those people and they always say put Pollard in more. It's like you obviously don't know football. You don't know what the hell you're looking at. So first off, we can argue about it, but Zeke, still to this day, is probably our best offensive player. All around. He's probably our best offensive player. What you think about that?
He had 2 carries for 26 yards, 13 yards a pop. He averaged 4.4 on the ground. He was efficient across the board. He had a touchdown rushing. I take that all day long.
So what I mean by he's our best offensive player is that the defensive coordinator for the other team is probably up every night before that game, the week before that game, scheming to stop Zeke. Plain and simple, because we've shown last week that you don't necessarily have to stop Dak to win the game. Tampa Bay showed you that. You can actually not stop Dak. You can let Dak get all the yards and all the touchdowns, and you can still win the game. If you let Zeke go off and be Zeke, you're going to lose. You know why? Because you're going to lose the time of possession. You're not going to have time to do. They're just going to keep first down after first down after first down. So they plan to stop Zeke. When Zeke is out of the game, it's breath of fresh air. Let's go. Focus on the next best player. They were doubling Amari Cooper the whole time. They might throw that extra person on the tight end or CeeDee Lamb. And then guess who can come in and just eat up easy yardage?
Easy yardage.
Pollard.
Pollard is in the best position he could possibly be in the NFL. He came to an organization where they're not asking much for him. So whenever he comes into the game, hey, I just need you to get here and get there. I need you to be dependable when we count on you. And hey, let's see what happens. And it showed today. He had 13 carries for 109, average 8.4, and he had a touchdown.
I mean, let's just think about this for a second. Is it normal for a running back, any running back, to average 8.4 yards per carry? No.
It is when you focus on the bell cow.
Right. So let's talk about that for a second. So I'm not saying that Pollard can't be your featured back. All I'm saying is we haven't seen it. We know Zeke can play all 3 downs for the whole game, 30 carries. We know Pollard ain't never had more than 13 carries, I believe, in one game. I mean, in Zeke's quote-unquote worst season last year, he averaged almost 17 carries a game. He ain't never had 17 carries a game.
Let's just take a step back and rewind to last week. If everybody didn't see how crucial Zeke was on passing downs, I don't know what kind of football game y'all watching. Zeke probably should have been game MVP for as many blitz packages he picked up.
And a lot of time was still able to take a big hit, hit the ground, get back up, and get out to some sort of route where he was available for the check down, regardless if Dak took it or not. So that's the other thing, the blocking. Can Pollard stand in there on a 3rd down blitz and pick up the right blitzer and be effective against him? Because he's a lot smaller than Zeke. It's a reason why Zeke has put on pounds since he's been in the league. And it ain't just from him getting the munchies from the other stuff he might do off the field.
Let's everybody be patient. Zeke is gonna have his time. He's gonna have his time. Plenty of times this year. We just all gotta be patient. But it's gonna come. It's gonna be plenty of defenses that Zeke is gonna run down the field. He's gonna run downhill, and he's gonna put his nose on the end zone. Plenty of times
when
throughout
it matters.
the season.
When it matters most. Now, don't get me wrong. I like what Pollard is doing. He's doing his job. Like you said, he's doing what he get paid to do. That's great. I don't want to hear nothing else about him taking Zeke's starting spot and we need to play him more and all. He lucky he getting the yards he getting, because in our football back in the day, you had one running back who played all 3 downs, period. So he's lucky he's getting any snaps, because if this was 20 years ago, he wouldn't be in the game.
This is a simple thing of us implementing the offensive scheme that took some of the heat off of Zeke and added pieces to the puzzle, and that's where Pollard fits in. Pollard is a piece. He's a unique piece. He's a
great piece.
A genuine piece, and I think he should be that going forward.
Right. End the discussion. But like you said in the pre-show meeting, yes, we had pre-show meetings. We're fancy over here. We're probably going to be talking about this all season long. Because this has been a topic of discussion over the past couple of years, especially last year where Zeke was clearly playing injured, but, whatever. That's another topic for another day.
Keep tweets going.
All right, let's see what else we got. Dallas area rapid transit. Drive that bus, bruh. So why did I spell it all the way out like that? Because we might have some people watching that's not from the Dallas area and they might not know what DART is, but DART is the local buses, man. It's the local Dallas City buses, man. Drive that bus, bruh. This let me put it this way. Because we didn't really break down the game so much. We're kind of going through these little segments and whatever. Yo, man, honestly, quarters 2 through 4. We got our ass kicked. For real. We got our ass kicked quarters 2 through 4. I was liking what I was seeing in the beginning, but anytime that they gave the ball to Dak to throw the ball over 15 yards to make a play, he either threw the interception or he threw something that should have been an interception. And I was just like, come on, man. What are you doing? Then, I don't know if you noticed, but it seems like they called on him less to do that kind of stuff. More checkdowns, more shorter passes, more gadget plays, which I'm okay with. Lining up Tyron Smith as a wide receiver one time. I don't know if I'm trying to do it 2 times in the same drive, but it seemed like they kind of took the ball out of his hands and made him more of a game manager and used some better play calling and skill sets from because again, your running backs are better than Dak. At least 2 of your wide receivers are better than Dak. So I'm okay with the decision to kind of reel him in a little bit and just get the ball in the hands of your playmakers and just letting them do their thing.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. Less on Dak is better for our offense, I feel, in the overall picture. Dak had 4 incompletions, which to me is an efficient game for him. I take that all day long. I really wish he could have put some points on the board as far as throwing a touchdown. He didn't. He threw an interception. But, hey, we're not putting the ball on his shoulders to win the game.
And we shouldn't.
The ball came within our total offensive scheme, whereas running the ball, passing the ball, moving the chains. At the end of the day, that was enough to win the game. We capitalized on anything we need to capitalize on moving forward. So, if this is the Dak that we can look forward to, I'll take it. Because guess what? It's got a big fat ass W in the category.
It's good enough. Especially if the defense is going to continue to be stingy and take the ball away a little bit. I still think it's some things we can probably clean up on. Again, I don't like the multiple gadget plays per drive. I mean, some of that stuff, and we can clean that up a little bit.
Yeah, some coaches say if you're running gadget plays, then you probably expecting to lose a game. So when you're running gadget plays, I think you feel like you don't have a chance. So hey, trust what you got.
Well, we were
trust what your coach.
Look how many times we went for it on 4th down.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, going for it on 4th down, I think that's the new era of the league. because they went for it on fourth down. A lot of coaches said that this year they probably will be going for it on fourth down a lot more.
Well, apparently the analytics tell you that you should.
My thing is this: if you trust your system and it's reachable, go for it. I don't give a damn where you at on the field.
I don't think I would have went for the one that was like 5 yards to go. I don't think I would have went on that one. Any of this short yardage stuff, we got a cool. Is that Jerry?
Oh no, man, that's a Cowboy fan. I ought to put him on there, but he worse than us, and we might not make the cut if we let him play.
Oh, okay. So all that short yard stuff though, man, come on, like we should be able to get that. He big enough to get that. Zeke, you see how
one thing. I don't want to interrupt you. I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy since he made a phone call to us. It's Eric Furlow, straight out of Waco, Texas.
All right,
he's a diehard Cowboy fan, and when I call him back and tell him what he interrupted, guess what? He gonna have a lot of shit to say.
Hey, again, he just probably happy just like we are. We got the win.
Back to your point.
All right, I don't even remember the point I was making.
Hey, well, fuck it. Excuse me.
We passed 10-minute mark. We're all right. Shout out to Kwame Brown.
Kwame.
Sidebar. Kwame Brown has now become my top 3 favorite basketball player after everything that's been going on over the past few months. It goes Dirk, Luka, and Jordan, and Kwame Brown.
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this: if I knew Kwame Brown had the size kahunas that he had when he was playing, man, I would have been a Kwame Brown fan a long time ago.
Yeah.
Say, man, walk up on Kwame Brown if you want to.
If you want to.
If you want to. Hey, shout out to Kwame Brown. Shout out to Kwame Brown.
I think my favorite line from this past summer was he told Steven Jackson, I give you my address. You can come and I'll whoop your ass. He said, Becky with the good hair, you's a bitch. I'm not giving you my address. I'll give you my P.O. box. I'll show up at the post office and whoop your ass.
Whoa, we're going to make it federal, hey, man.
So that's probably my favorite quote of him from the summer. But anyway, back to Dak. I think even his first rookie, the rookie season, it was clear he was just driving the bus. And he did a damn good job of it. He might be the best bus driver in the league.
Rookie of the year?
He might be the best bus driver in the league. So let him do what he does. Similar conversation that we were having about Pollard. Just let him do the thing that he does. And be happy with that. Don't try to ask him to do too much or too much extra. That's not a recipe for success as far as us winning the game. And we showed that this week. He got the 400+ yards last week. We lost the damn game. This week, 237, no touchdowns, and he threw an interception, and we still won. So unfortunately, this goes back to, which we're going to have this conversation one day. It's coming. This goes back to the Tony Romo, Dak Prescott conversation. I told people all the time, the winning that we did do, regardless if we didn't go deep in the playoffs and win no Super Bowl, we ain't done that with Dak either. The winning that we did with Romo was because of Romo. The winning that we did with Dak was despite Dak being an inaccurate passer or a bad thrower, whatever you want to call it. Because, we can always look at these stats and say, oh, he's 23 for 27. Man, them wasn't on no meaningful long passes.
Not disagreement, total disagreement. It wasn't because he was inaccurate totally. At the early point of Dak's career, it was Zeke's machine. In which if we had that now, we wouldn't have had this conversation now, which makes you a great bus driver to be real efficient. You got to realize it was week 6 before Dak threw a touchdown his rookie year.
Yeah.
There's no harm in that. We were winning ball games.
Right, as long as we winning.
My quarterback does not have to thread your defense for me to win a game.
I feel like that first year, if we would have just greatly let me put it this way. If our defense that second year or first year of Dak's rookie year would have been playing like they're playing now, we don't even ask Dak to go out and do more. right? You train and you go look for other passes that he can make in the offseason, but it's not that much of a burden on his shoulders to do more if the defense could just step up and take the ball away a couple of times.
Yeah, we will have to fix that as a team. You know, we have to fix that on defense. We got to fix that on special teams, and we have to ramp up our offense to hey, this does not have to be his shoulder to burden. You know, this ball can come. You can win games in other areas, in other aspects, besides your quarterback throwing for 400 yards,
500 yards, five touchdowns.
You know, like
mess.
you said, Dak 400 last week, no win. Dak 200 this week, we got to win. And guess what? If you average that out, he still passed 300 yards a game on an average. Okay, he can take those stats and he can run with them. But guess what? I will take these 200-yard games and we can get or a W and stay out of the L category. Hey, I'm totally on board with that.
And you see the touchdowns that we did was we ran the ball down their throats.
And to Dak's detriment, I don't think he would have a problem with it. You know, he's that kind of guy. You know, I don't think he'd have a problem with it.
I will give him those props and kudos. I think he would be down to go along with however we gonna win. And so I think our receivers are like that too.
Oh, no doubt. Because guess what? Amari Cooper is not gonna cry if he's not getting the ball.
No, like today. No, he was getting double teamed.
Yeah,
and you think he cares?
I call him the because he has that kind of attitude. And you know what? If you're gonna have that kind of attitude and you still can catch a ball when the game is on the line, hey, I'll take it.
He usually ready. I mean, he had a big catch at the end of the game. To keep it going.
You know, we've had situations where we had receivers here at this organization, and they cried for the ball, and the result was the same. So you know, hey, if he's not crying for the ball, he'll take it. You know, CD is not a big hey, give me the ball kind of guy. Whenever slipping my mind.
Joseph Randall. No.
No. Whenever Gallup comes back, he's not a guy to cry for the ball. So, you know, hey, I'll take it. We have an offense where our guys will roll with all the punches that are laid down.
Even the offensive line. A lot of times you'll see, I think Peyton Manning had the one that got big where he was arguing with, was it Jeff Saturday or somebody on his when he played for the Colts, and he was like, he told Peyton, run the damn ball. And he was like, no, we call the plays here. You just get out there and block. We'll run the damn ball when it's time. I don't even think we get that from our offensive line where they're butting in into what we're calling, you know, as far as offensive plays. We don't even have that. So basically what we're saying is our offense don't have no ego, and clearly Zeke don't have no ego either. He might act crazy on the sideline. I don't think he got no ego either, because look at what happened last year and how he was the butt of a lot of jokes last year. Even into this year, we just had a conversation that people on Twitter calling for Pollard to take over. He don't care.
Take it on the chin and move on and get the win.
And drive that bus, that Dallas area rapid transits. They always talking about throwing darts. We need Dak to drive that dart. What else we got, man?
I'm driving the bus, man. Come on.
What else we got,
I'm a wreck. You better hurry up.
Let's talk about the defense a little bit. Don't wreck the bus, man. So this obviously didn't happen during the game. This happened during practice, during the week. DeMarcus Lawrence broke his foot. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. From what I'm reading, he had the successful surgery on Thursday. I'm glad we won this game, and the reason is I was starting to see the same type of patterns from last year. And then when I heard about D-Law going down, I was like, yo, man, this is, again, starting to sound like last year again, where we come in, right? Dak's throwing big numbers, we losing, and then people start dropping off, getting hurt left and right. Gallup's out multiple weeks. D-Law's out multiple weeks. Gregory's in the COVID protocol. We have some other people hurt that, you know, not huge impact, but just, you know, little things here and there. I was like, oh, man, this is going downhill real fast.
Don't get me wrong. At the time, you know, you say, hey, we lose Tank Lawrence. Tank Lawrence is gone. You're like, oh, man, we dead to the water, you know. Tank Lawrence against the run, one of the best in the business, you know. But if you say every down, getting to the quarterback or some kind of pressure, you know, not all the time. You know, we showed today we had pressure from other areas, from other players, that was a combination of things that kind of shook them up. Instead of us being a stagnant defense, we just depend on this one guy to just put his hand on the ground and just go get the quarterback, and it doesn't happen for 4 quarters. That happened last week. We got a sack today by a linebacker. We got pressure today by a linebacker. Not by a defensive end, but by a linebacker. So hats off to Dan Quinn for recognizing that, showing that, okay, we're gonna play hard, and we're gonna play with what we got.
Yeah. And I will say this. There is a difference between going up against Antonio Brown, Godwin, and Gronk versus what we went up against tonight. However,
don't get me wrong, the guy that I wish we would have drafted was pretty good now.
Who's that?
Slater.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, not saying he's better than what we faced last week.
Right.
But for him to be a rookie, he held his own today.
So but I say that to say it does a world of difference when you can get a little pressure.
Exactly.
Our DBs, the problems that they did have this game, some of it at least was just their own. They just fell asleep, and we could talk about that later.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about that later in the show. But it wasn't because the quarterback had 5-6 seconds to throw the ball.
Right.
We were getting pressure, and even Anthony Brown had a big lucky ass stop.
Yeah, we didn't even. You know what? God bless the world because we did not notice Anthony Brown today. Pimp Snooky again.
Pimp Snooky with the stop.
God bless. God bless.
So anyway, it is a situation. I don't know if DeMarcus Lawrence would have made that big of a difference this game in the running game. It was very clear that they had some holes to run through early in the game.
Oh,
however, we've been going years and years and years without getting any pressure on the quarterback.
Well. Last week and this week, we both haven't had huge explosions on the ground. Mm-hmm. So like I said last week, you could give DeMarcus Lawrence a little credit for that.
Yeah.
This week he wasn't there, and we still had the same result.
But we got more pressure on the quarterback. Yeah. So that leads me to our next topic. My knee-jerk reaction. Is D-Law in trouble? It's not even a question. I'm saying D-Law is in trouble. And the reason I say that, we were talking about last week having too many linebackers. 4. And if you really want to go back into the offseason, we could have had 5, but we kind of just got Sean Lee to just, retire and do whatever. But we could have had 5 that was worthy of starting on an NFL team. Say, man, I don't think it's now Van Der Esch or Smith that got to worry about getting traded or Neal getting dropped, right? D-Law the one making all the big money.
Dude, that's an interesting point because I'm going to tell you like this. Micah Parsons does not look out of place. He had his hand on the ground today.
He was beating his man.
He did not look out of place.
And he was beating his man easier. I'm not saying he wasn't beating his man some last week when we talking about tackles, but him charging at the tackle from 3 yards deep, they were able to gauge where he was at and sometimes get a little help on him. When he lined up at DN, they couldn't stop him.
Correct.
They couldn't stop him. So he was getting that pressure, regardless if he got a bunch of sacks or not. Just went off for a 3-sack, 4-sack game. It don't matter. He was getting pressure and a lot of pressure. And even when the quarterback was scrambling, he had the speed to go out there and get him. We done seen too many times where D-Law has more power, but sometimes he just kind of flailing after that because he can't catch the quarterback.
I'm gonna bring you a point up. Everybody's not from the streets, but I grew up in a neighborhood where you knew about what was going on.
Okay.
And in today's time, if you have a good sack of what, they call it pressure.
Okay.
They say pressure. And guess what? I take pressure all day long because it's havoc.
Yep.
And havoc can make any quarterback, I don't care who you are, look like a normal person.
Everyday Joe.
Justin Herbert, he got his yards off today, but I think we had enough pressure in key situations to change that game to where we got the W today.
it definitely, the pressure definitely made a difference. And the reason I say that is because we had the conversation last week about how many times DeMarcus Ware got sacks, but it didn't really affect the outcome of the game. The pressure in this game definitely had some sort of impact on the game. It wasn't the be all end all. It wasn't the number one reason why we won the game, but damn it, it helped. Like and it showed, and you can see some of the passes coming out slightly inaccurate from that quarterback, coming out a half a second earlier, where the wide receiver wasn't able to run the full route, or maybe they weren't ready for the ball yet.
Justin Herbert threw technically, in my eyes, 3 picks.
Yeah,
you know, we got robbed on one, but guess what? If we're going to create some pressure and we can have situations like that, our defense can come a long way, because those guys are going to make huge strides week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 16 with their pressure. They're going to get better. They're going to get more technically sound.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, we're going to probably be pretty solid if that pressure picks up.
Now, the reason I call this the knee-jerk reaction is because this is just one game.
Yeah, it's just one game.
Against one tackle who didn't necessarily seem it wasn't Smith out there he was going out against, which means we saw what happens when Smith get his hands on you. It don't matter who you are, you're going down, right? And he actually showed that in this game. So shout out to Smith doing his thing after he got some, penalties last week and all that kind of, and people have been talking about him for a few years. Like that dude, one of the best in the business. Stop it.
Smith, what Smith are you talking about?
Tackle.
Oh, Tyron Smith.
Our tackle.
Tyron Smith. Okay.
So stop that talk. That's just a side note. But hopefully he has more than one move in his arsenal, because he just kept going inside on this dude. Obviously, they're gonna watch some tape. They're gonna have to line him up out there again because D-Law is out for multiple weeks.
Well, he worked with one of our better pass rushers through the Cowboys organization, D-Wire.
Yeah.
On Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can continue their relationship. He can teach him some things here and there. And from what I got out of the show, he's an open book. He's ready to learn. He's willing to learn. So hey, keep it going.
Yeah.
Let Quinn keep giving it, because that's Quinn's specialty.
Yeah.
So all that feeds into our hands.
Yeah.
If all that can keep going, guess what? We got one way to go.
Because we don't need no more. Because we don't need no more linebackers.
No. Because we got a linebacker sitting on the bench that I feel like could play now.
He played on special teams.
Yeah. I'm just saying that in situations. I mean, just saying if something happened and you said we were deep at the position, then we okay.
Yeah, I don't think now he ain't gonna be out there calling no plays. But
negative on that,
right? But he'll be serviceable, and you ain't gonna just be able to pick on him.
No.
So anyway, again, knee-jerk reaction. D-Law is in trouble.
Like you said, knee-jerk.
It's knee-jerk. I'm fully aware. It's just one game, and he ain't just light it up. But I mean, damn it, he was getting hella pressure, and that's what I like to see. So D-Law, hey man,
if you come back and you got pressure and he got pressure too, we got a lot of pressure.
That bag of that good, that's what you was talking about, right?
Oh yeah, it's lethal.
Yeah. What else we got? All right. So generally speaking, in this game, it was real sloppy. We had turnovers left and right. We had penalties all over the place. 20 penalties for both teams, 175 yards, and it wasn't just penalties. It seemed like there were penalties in key moments, like really key moments. I specifically want to talk about the penalties that came in the Chargers' last drive. So they threw a touchdown. I was like, oh damn, we about to lose. But then the touchdown came back. Well, let me stop. Let me rewind for 2 seconds. Now, I didn't think the touchdown was coming back, but I did see. I did see the unsportsmanlike conduct. You can't get the touchdown and spin the ball at the defender and then doing all this crap all up in their face. You're gonna get the flag every time. So I knew that, but I was like, damn it, they still scored the touchdown. But then they called something else. I don't even remember what the other call was. So there was actually two penalties on the offense and one of them caused the touchdown to be recalled. So
it's a legal shift, I believe.
The illegal shift, which is how you probably got open in the first place. Why you want to gloat?
And technically, I didn't even see where the legal shift occurred. So
I didn't see it either.
But
they said it happened.
They know a lot more than we know, evidently.
And so obviously I'm cool with the rules. Obviously I get that you got to take that penalty, because if you don't, then it's a touchdown. So I get all that. That's fine. However, my concern or my issue, just from a common sense standpoint, is that if you had unsportsmanlike conduct after the play, how did those 15 yards not get tacked on?
Yeah, I've never understood the full dynamics of officiating in the NFL. When, to me, I see a lot of games and they apply, in my opinion, rules as they occur. If something happened beyond the play itself, it should stand.
Right. Because that happened after the play.
And because I've seen situations where they have applied it after the play.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, that's a league issue. They've got to address that. The Chargers probably got more of a gripe with that than we do, but we could have a big gripe with that as well.
Well,
because what would we have been if they had applied the 15 yards for that? We would have pushed them back. It would have been 20 yards instead of 5 yards?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Something along those lines.
Did they score on that drive?
They didn't. So that comes to the next penalty that happened on that same drive, if I'm not mistaken. It's the one where Chargers quarterback started scrambling. He scrambled. He moving backwards. We get a hand on him. He throws the ball incomplete. Commentators, Tony Romo, shout out, thinking it's going to be intentional grounding. I already knew it wasn't going to be intentional grounding. He was too far out of the box. What they called him down. They got a new rule they put in place.
It's protection of the quarterback.
A year or two ago, it's protection of the quarterback. So if I get you and my hands are on you and I'm 2 times bigger than you, I'm going to just blow it dead so the quarterback don't get slammed into the dirt and get injured. So that's what they ended up calling. To the naked eye, when I first saw it in regular speed, I was like, that's a bad call. Even though it helped me, right? Helped the Cowboys. I was like, yo, that's a bad call.
My thing is this. What if that play happens, you blow it dead, the defender keeps going, he still slams the guy into the quarterback? Do they take that penalty off the board because it's after the whistle?
Well, that's a good question. But here's what I will say from what I do know, as far as what happens. They called it dead, and guess what? He still got slammed into the dirt. He still got drove into the turf because they called it dead in the process of him falling backwards. So you didn't save the quarterback from getting hurt at all. Not that he got injured on the play, but he could have. You didn't protect him in that moment. And he still got slammed, and now they are 20 yards deeper than they were because he'd been scrambling, even though he got the ball off in time before he hit the ground.
Yeah.
So even when I watched it in slow motion and saw that, yes, we did have a hand on the quarterback when they called the play dead, I still think it was a bad call because, again, at the end of the day, the quarterback still got slammed into the dirt. So you might as well just have kept the rule the same and just let him throw for the incompletion.
Don't get Genesis wrong. We are totally happy with what happened. Don't get him twisted.
Don't get it twisted.
We're just discussing this now.
But I do like to be objective on here.
Yeah, because it could end up biting us in the butt one day.
Right.
Or the ass or the kahunas, whatever you want to say.
Wherever.
But it could bite the shit out of us.
Yeah, it could.
So my thing is this, earlier in the year, you always see officials going in with a point of emphasis. They key in on certain things. At the beginning of the year, and you see it called a lot more than you do at the end of the year. Yep. So hopefully we're at that phase and they clean it up, and going forward we'll see a better outcome from the officials. Because 20 for 175, you're telling me that you got 2 teams that are just totally undisciplined.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and generally speaking, I mean, it's still just the second game. So I get it. And I'm not even saying the penalties were wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying there were a lot of them.
Right. And my thing is this, some of the flags that you did see early in the game, you'll see the same kind of action later in the game. You don't have a call at all. So officials, sometimes you got to kind of weigh your options.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, does this really affect the outcome of a play or not?
I wish they would go by that more often.
If it happens again, are we going to be consistent and we're going to call it again?
Well, I think sometimes the things just happen so fast that you don't know if it could have affected the outcome of the play or not. Because I could have been looking that way and y'all could have been feeling on each other. So I looked the other way and threw it over there. But then you finally call the contact over here, which was completely away from the play. I just wish it was consistent, regardless of which way they go with it. Just be consistent, because totally off topic, but we do watch multiple sports over here. It's the same thing with baseball.
Oh, totally.
It's the same thing with it's the same thing with baseball with the balls and strikes. You look at the game and you're like, why are they always arguing about the strikes and blah blah blah? Say, man, it's because if I'm throwing something over here and it's counting as a strike, like that means the next time you throw that ball, which is way out of the zone, I gotta swing at it.
Exactly.
I have to swing at it because you're gonna call it a strike regardless. So I gotta at least take a hack at it. And then my pitcher don't get the same call. I gotta literally paint the edge, and you still might call it a ball. But so it's just be consistent.
Yeah, it's gotta be a balance created between the players and the officials. Hey, I feel like you're gonna call this, so I need to adjust to this, and then I adjust to it, and you don't make the call. So it's got to be more of a balance between both parties. The players, they do what they can. My thing is this: I never tell a player not to play hard. You have to play hard. You have to play hard in between the whistles, and never leave chance for the officials to have the final say on it.
Well, and so I think that they need to be on the same page, but before the game.
Oh, well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you only get so many possessions.
Don't get me wrong.
In football.
I've officiated football. I officiated basketball.
Yeah.
You do have pregame. You discuss.
Just like we had the pre-show meeting.
Yeah.
Because we're professionals.
You discuss tendencies. You discuss what you're going to tighten up on. And I think once you get out of the tunnel and everybody, the adrenaline gets pumping, everybody kind of leaves that thing to the side. I'm just making this call at this moment, and it should be more of what did we talk about before a game,
right?
And because like die by that.
Like I said, basketball is easy. People make up calls. They try to act like they don't, but I can call a tic-tac foul to get you back on the line and get y'all 2 points back that I messed up on the previous possession. But like I said, in football, you only get so many possessions in a game. So what is it, 8, 9
a game,
something like that? So if you just totally screw up the first possession of the game, I mean, that's 3 to 7 points that you possibly taking off the board.
Don't get me wrong. I'm glad we got a win, but I do think that the Chargers it kept them off balance. Yeah, I totally think it did keep their game off balance. Every time they got something going, and here we got something on the ground. So I mean, I'm glad it went in our favor. Hopefully, going forward, it'll keep going in our favor. But hey, that's just
you need a little luck.
That's the rules of engagement when you at it. Somebody, last week we had a critical call that we felt like we should have gotten, we didn't get. So hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, yep. And we didn't even talk about it, but at the same time, it was so much blame to go around because we played the blame game last week. We didn't even think about that one call that happened at the end of the game. So anyway, question of the week. Hey, y'all see this question of the week? Put your answers down in the comment section below on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, y'all make sure y'all like this video. If y'all been watching this long, if you've been watching 40 minutes into it, you must like it. You must like what you hear. Just go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you have not. AVersion TV coming with all of the shows. Trayvon Diggs, 6 tackles, 1 interception. Question of the week: can Diggs be an all-pro?
I think so.
I think so too.
I just, since he's been here, Diggs has been our best corner. I don't care who can bring the argument up. Since he showed up for last year's training camp, he's been our best corner.
Yep.
He's had his ups and downs. He's had his highs and lows, but he's a big play guy.
Yep.
Last week we didn't give him kudos, but to me, he completely shut Mike Evans down. This week he had a couple mental lapses.
What was that?
Guess what? He's got a pick in each game.
What was that when he just stopped running?
Yeah, and those were the mental lapses.
I was just like, what are you doing?
We got to realize he's still a kid. He's still young. He's got to grow. He's got to get these things, and he's got to wipe them off.
I bet he don't do that against his brother.
He's got to have short-term memory, and no, he will not do that against his brother.
He don't just stop running against his brother?
No. But, hey.
But I think it's just the little things like that that's keeping you from being in that elite status.
Yeah, but I think
easily fixable.
I think it's all easily fixable. And guess what? Everybody has an off season. They have a training program where they get better. They take these mental reps and they get better. I think he's made strides from last year. This game was a little in reverse. Not totally where it just cost us a lot, but I guarantee you, if I could talk to him now, he knows exactly what he did wrong. He can tell you when he did it wrong. So you have to stay focused for 4 quarters as a defensive back. You got to forget each play that you did bad. You got to have a short-term memory, and you just got to keep going forward. Every play you got to keep digging. And, your name is Diggs.
I see what you did.
So
there.
you have to dig. This is the NFL. These guys are running downhill every play. So, hey, watch that stuff out of you, buddy. Pick it up and be more consistent. Dude, we're ready to put you on top of Mount Everest.
Yeah, because I think it's going to be, honestly, I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a situation where they just stop throwing to his side.
Yeah, and guess what? If that happens, then that means that he has changed some things about our system.
Yep.
My thing is this. I like what I saw today because I've noticed during the past 2 weeks that Quinn is letting him follow. I've always agreed with following.
Yeah.
If that's your best guy, then let him follow.
Yeah.
And
today, because he young enough, he got the speed to catch up.
Oh yeah, you train, you ran miles. So wait, let's see what you got.
Yeah.
But don't take any receiver for granted. You look at it. You probably said last week, okay, they got 3 All-Pros in my opinion, and then you look at this squad and you say, hey, they just average guys.
Well, they got one with Allen that's probably above average.
But they, a lot of guys don't give Allen the respect that he deserves.
Yeah.
But
Patrick Creighton ain't coming through them doors.
No. But, kudos to you because the interception was huge.
No,
that was a baller play.
That was a Deion Sanders play.
I mean, dude.
I'm just saying. That was a cover. That was all him.
That is what we saw all summer long out of you in training camp.
It wasn't tipped.
No.
It wasn't like a rush kind of heave throw.
See ball, catch ball.
Say, man, that was a straight up coverage interception, and it was all him.
Yeah. So, hey, man, just keep it up.
Yeah. Just and don't do nothing stupid. Don't get on our dumbass of the week list for any reason.
And make sure you stay out of big crowds. We need you to be good. No more positive COVID tests on our team. So, come on, buddy.
Yeah, mask up. And that go for everybody else out there. Y'all mask up, man.
And shout out to your little boy, man. We love your little boy from Hard Knocks, man.
Yeah,
even though you need to make sure he says Dak Prescott instead of Patrick Mahomes.
Just make sure he understands the script because he kept getting his lines wrong. I don't necessarily. I can see it. I can see a future with your son acting, but I really can't if you can't get the lines right. So, but anyway, shout out to y'all. And again, COVID, y'all mask up, man. Come on. Let's get to our last topic. Next game, we finally get a home game.
Oh man, you ready for the division?
Yeah. I caught a little bit of the Eagles today. I'm glad that they lost.
Honestly, what do you think we got in the division? As far as it, is it better than last year across the board? Are we better?
I think the division itself is definitely better. We are better because we're playing better defense. The Giants will be better because they got their best player back, right? Redskins defense is just.
Even though y'all only gave me 3 points each of the last 2 weeks on my fantasy league. Now, come on, Redskins.
Right.
Cowboy fans, I picked y'all. Y'all gave me 6 points this year.
Yeah. So from a defensive standpoint, like I don't never want to play the Redskins.
No.
Like for real.
My thing is this. Since I've been a Cowboy fan, I don't give a damn when it is or how it is or what the record looks like. When we play the Redskins, they strap up and we strap up. That is an all-out war when we play each other.
Yeah.
Regardless of the records, regardless of anything, they come to play and we come to play them.
And last but not least, because we play them next week, the Eagles are definitely better than they were last year. There was a lot of dysfunction last year at the quarterback position. Yeah. Let's play the rookie. Let's not play the rookie. Let's just bench him. Let's sit him down. Let's keep trying, because the division was still competitive, even though we were all losers. Right, last year it was still competitive, so the Eagles were still trying to win, even though I don't know what you thought you were going to do, right, in the playoffs.
I'm gonna tell you this: I see a lot of similarities, because I'm gonna bring Washington back in the fold, but not saying that they're better than Washington, but their front seven is pretty good. I think our holes in both games will be, on the back end, but what I saw out of Philly, their front seven can play with anybody. That defensive tackle they got, I don't even want to say his name, but every time we play him, I don't care who blocks him, he's going to show up.
So what I will say about Philly in the game they played today against the 49ers, again, they lost, so shout out to the 49ers. It was a little bit closer than it really should have been. You can say what you want about Jimmy G. You can say what you want about him. He should have been replaced and all those other, which I don't really get. Let Dak get us to the Super Bowl. Like, I might actually go wear a Dak jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, regardless if he missed the one throw and the whatever, man, all that mess they've been talking about Jimmy G. You can say what you want. Generally speaking, he don't miss wide open people. And today, he was missing some wide open people.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's football. The other team missed some throws too. Nah, man, this dude was literally, like, he is not a scrambling quarterback. Like, literally, he is a pocket passer, and he does not miss wide open people.
Yeah, I heard. I didn't get much on that game today, but I did hear earlier that there was two guys that were totally wide open, and he just missed them completely.
Yeah, and some of them for touchdowns.
Right.
So
you can't have that.
So again, they still won the game.
Still won the game,
despite that.
Right.
And I don't expect that to continue to happen. So I say that to say, as good as the Eagles look week one, they went up against a fast, better defense this week, and they couldn't really put up points.
Okay.
So if you get pressure on a young Jalen Hurts, you might get some inaccurate, wobbly, weird passes that you can pick off.
Okay. We got the Monday night
game.
I need you next time to have us some Monday night music going, because that kind of get me pumped up about,
Yeah, but copyright,
Yeah, but
you might get us.
Can I do this then? No, they don't sound shit like they would.
Yeah,
the music.
I know the Monday night. Yeah.
But anyhow, I just in this game, I feel like
let's call it.
We can go ahead and take care of business, because we win the game. We're on top of the division by ourselves alone.
I think if we get a combination of what we did week one and week two, if we could just take all the good things that we did from both weeks, put them together, we'll beat them easily.
Well, you got to look at it like this. We are actually looking at the worst quarterback that we played this year, so that should play into our hands.
Because if you get some of the throws and the plays and things of that nature that led us to score in game one, because we put up 2 goose eggs today in quarters 2 and 3. So we started off with the running game. We scored early. We got up big, and then we just didn't score for 2 quarters. So if you just adapt and come out and now Dak, take us home. Usually it's the opposite. It's score through the air and let the running game run up the clock. And however you want to do it, we can't keep laying goose eggs and kicking field goals. We can't do what we did today and go 2 quarters with no points and then kick 2 field goals and expect to keep winning, regardless of what we did in the first quarter.
Right. I watched a little bit of the Atlanta game against the Eagles week 1, and I think we can move the ball on the ground with a lot of success in this game. So if we can do that, then we'll get back to this game that we had today. 200-yard Dak, 100-plus yards on the ground. Let's take it. Let's do the W with that. So I'm picking us to win this week.
Yeah, because you're talking about today almost 200 yards rushing.
Yeah.
From the 2 running backs. If you look at everything total, we got damn close to 200 yards if you look at, because CeeDee Lamb ran a couple of times, and then Cedric Wilson had a run as well. So we got damn close to having 200 yards. I think if we really wanted to, actually what we really should have, we should have had 2 100-yard rushes today.
Right. Yeah, CeeDee Lamb had a damn 13-yard run that fooled everybody. You know, we can have plays where we can just mix in stuff like that.
I didn't know who it was at first.
Yeah, I was like, what running back is that? But, hey, I really like our chances in this game. I don't think our game will be as close as people think. This will be the first game that we play and we win. We win in a big fashion. So
Cowboys. I got Cowboys.
Cowboys.
You on the record for Cowboys too, right?
I'm on record.
Okay. So that is a Monday night game, which means normally we might record a recap on Tuesday, maybe release it on Wednesday, but Ralph got stuff to do. So we're going to try to record our next show on Thursday for Friday, possibly a Friday release. So it's gonna be a recap of the game, but we're gonna try to throw in some other things as well, because this is the Grown Ass Sports Podcast, it's not the Grown Ass Cowboys Podcast. But just look out for that. So anyway, that's it. That's episode 2, man. How you feel? This went a little smoother,
man,
a little faster, a little more compact.
Man, we wrapped that up in store fashion.
Yeah, we did okay with that. You gonna put your glasses?
You want me to do it again?
Yeah, just to get out of here.
Y'all want to see me like this?
While I just tell everybody again, want to thank everybody for hanging with us today after this W. AVersion TV on YouTube. That's where you at. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell too, so you'll be first to know when we release new shows. And
appreciate all the love this week too, fellas.
Oh yeah, everybody. Yeah, let's get the convo going. It started in the comment section, man. Make sure you answer our question of the week, and whatever else you want to see us review or talk about, let us know, and we will incorporate it. We got time.
Trust me, you can't hurt our damn feelings, because we ain't gonna do nothing but cuss your ass out anyway.
And don't come with no bad ideas, because we will put you in the dumbass of the week.
Yeah, and we waiting on our first studio guest, because we need that to spark the show. We need somebody that we probably can bring in. We can put his ass on blast if he don't know shit, but we can take his opinions, and we can, especially somebody. And I would love somebody to come be on our show that was for the opposing team, so we can have that good debate.
Yeah. So, that would be nice. We do got room for you.
Or he can explain why he got his ass whooped.
Yeah. Let us know.
With his dumb ass.
With your dumb ass rooting for the other team. Anyway, we got room for you. So just holler at me. Let me know. And until next time.
Peace.
We'll holler.